Welcome back. Today you are coming along with me to take this room from a 7 to a 10. So I've been doing some little projects here and there over the past couple months to kind of spruce up and refresh this room. It's not quite a makeover, some of it is a bit of a makeover, particularly the desk area. I'm very excited about that, I love how it turned out. But most of it is more upgrading a bit, giving it some attention and a lot of organisational stuff. Seeing as we recently had the place renovated, my room was already pretty nice for sure. I've kept all of it really as is, but I've just added a few things here and there. I just wanted to give it the attention that it deserved, the love that it deserved, and I have. Anyway, let's get right into it. Okay, so as a first small project for my room, I have these little cactus pots. Well, not just the pots, I have cacti in them. And I think the pots are really cute, you know, they're just ceramic. They're doing their job just like that, but I thought it would be kind of cool to decorate them a little bit. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet because I don't think I want to do too loud patterns because I don't want it to clash too much with the whole room. So I went and bought a few paints. I got quite a few, but obviously I will be using them for things other than this project. I went to the BHV if you're Frenchy as well or living in France. So I just got some kind of pastel type colours and then some brighter colours, mainly blues, greens. I've got a little pink. I've got a yellow as well because I thought maybe I'll do a little sun. Now that I'm looking at the actual pot, I don't know if I will, but I will also be using this to decorate a bigger pot, so that might be useful for that. And then I got this really cool shiny pearl green, which I'm very excited about using. So yeah, let's get started and do some painting.
So I was really excited about using this shiny green paint, and it didn't actually work out as I had imagined. It just didn't work very well as a base paint, so that was a bit upsetting, but it turned out that it works relatively well more as a highlighter, so I ended up doing that. I just kept the patterns very simple, as I said. I did a lot of wavy lines, and it was overall a lot harder than I expected. It felt very approximate. My lines were kind of difficult to keep straight. Overall, I had a lot of fun doing it. It was very therapeutic and I loved it so much that I decided to go and do the big pot straight away. I actually did this one twice because I did not like my first design at all, so I scrapped it and just went with something a bit more simple, but it was nice that I could peel the paint off and start again. So this is how the pots turned out. I'm so happy with them. I love how it adds a bit to the pots. It makes them a bit more exciting, but also not too loud, not too busy. And I just love them in my room now. I think it's so cute and I'm really very happy with them. If you hadn't noticed by the number of times I've said I'm happy with them. The next course of action in this little room makeover, spruce up, whatever you want to call it, is organising my very messy drawer underneath my bed. I went to look for some stuff in the store, but all the nice boxes, all the nice storage bins were very, very, very expensive. So I found a DIY on YouTube. I'll be linking it down below, and all I needed was some cardboard boxes. I just used some old shoe boxes, some rope, some glue and some fabric. It was recommended to use a hot glue gun, but I just used super glue because I didn't want to buy a hot glue gun just for this. It might have been easier with the gun though, you'll see in a bit. For the fabric, I actually just used some old sheets and pillowcases, which I then cut up. And for the rope, I just bought it at a hardware store, Leroy Merlin specifically. And then after that, I just used an old one that I found, which wasn't really the right size, but it was just so expensive, I didn't want to buy a whole nother roll. You can get cheaper ones on Amazon, but I do try to avoid ordering from Amazon, which is why I just resorted to this smaller string. Okay, so I thought this was going to be very easy and quick. Turns out it was not. Firstly, I encountered some difficulties gluing my rope to the box. So as I said, I'm not sure if it's because I used super glue and not a glue gun, or if it was just my rope that was a bit too sturdy, but it was a struggle. I ended up using pins to try and keep it in place whilst the glue dried, and after a few wraps of the box, I just went in without gluing until the last one basically, and honestly that worked pretty well. I also encountered some other technical issues.
I've gotten all tangled up. Don't just throw the thing on the floor because it doesn't work. Okay, we are untangled and we're back.
Then came the sewing, which was just pretty long. As you can see, I changed locations many a time, but once I got the hang of it, it was pretty easy, but it did take me a couple tries.
So as you can tell, my stitch is not following the line at all. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take it out, I think, and start again. But I'm just feeling really tired, so I need to take a break because I feel like I've been at this for hours. I have been at this for hours and I'm exhausted and I'm really hot and sweaty.
I'll try and explain it briefly here, but for a proper detailed tutorial, go follow the link to the video I used. But basically, you wrap the fabric around the box and sew each corner at a time, leaving a sort of triangle poking out, if that makes sense. Then you trim the excess fabric and do the seam, which I ended up not doing for the others because I was lazy, and also I sort of ended up tucking in the end anyway, so you wouldn't see the seam at all. And then you flip it inside out and fit it in. I'm really happy with these and very, very excited about finally organising my drawer, so let's go do that now. So there we have it, a beautifully organised drawer. I think these turn out really well. It's exactly the vision that I had in mind, just a clean drawer. And I will say it's been a few weeks and the drawer is still clean, the drawer is still organised, so they are serving their perfect purpose. I'm very, very happy with them. It honestly just feels like a weight lifted off my chest, lifted off my shoulders, having this drawer organised, because I swear every time I would open it, it would give me anxiety because I'm a relatively organised person, I would say, and I hate having a messy space, even if it's hidden in a drawer, which is why I just felt like I needed to organise it. The next thing I wanted to do to elevate this room was frame a few pictures. I've had these particular ones up on the wall behind my door, and although it's not a wall that's always displayed because of the fact that it's behind the door, like when the door is open you do not see the wall, I still wanted to give it a bit of attention because sometimes my door is closed and I am inside and I want to see the wall. So I thought framing the paintings, the art would be the perfect addition. I searched high and low for the perfect frames, and I ended up getting 2 big ones from IKEA and 2 smaller ones from Leroy Merlin, with the plan of returning the one I wouldn't want. But because I am dumb, I threw away my receipt. So hopefully I will find a use for my spare frame one day. I also wanted the frames to all be a bit different so that it would add a bit more dimension to the wall, if you know what I mean. I really struggled with the frame sizes, particularly for the painting of the hills I have. It's a David Hockney and my grandparents gave it to me a while back and I love it, but it's a very unorthodox size, so I had to settle for a frame that didn't quite fit. I had a lot of back and forths on the frames, as you can see, deciding which ones would fit best, which frame to choose for which painting, blah blah blah. In the end, for the Hockney painting, I decided to trim the edges, which were not the painting itself, don't worry, it was just white edges, and there is a bit of white showing still in the frame, which I'm not a huge fan of, but what can you do? It looks fine. It looks fine. It doesn't look amazing, but it looks fine. And I'm thinking of maybe making my own little white frame inside it to homogenize the white, but that's a matter for another day.
I have a hammer. It is one snack and a hammer later. Okay.
As you can see, I am an absolute pro with a hammer. Anyway, I hung the frames up, decided I didn't like it,
I feel like it looks weird.
and hung them up a second time, and the deed was done. No third time, luckily for me. I feel like this is a lot of babble just about some framed pictures, but the whole process of choosing the frames, deciding upon the sizes, positioning, orientation, etc., it took a lot of my energy. But anyway, I am very happy with the result, and it's exactly what I had in mind. Also, a little self-plug, one of those paintings is one I painted myself, and there's actually a video of me painting it. If you want to go check it out, that would make me very happy. Self-plug over. Okay, so the main thing that has been bothering me about the room, or more so felt like something was missing, was my desk area. So this is the current state of the desk, and let's try and organise it. It just felt very plain, a bit unorganised, and just overall, I didn't feel like it was aesthetically pleasing, and I am a sucker for a pretty desk space. I knew I wanted to take care of the pile of papers and whatnot on the right side of my desk, so I had a bit of a browse for some desk organisation, both in person and online. I'm so excited about this. We have some boxes and more boxes. Aha, little organiser. I think we can make it work. It's a shame that the colours are so different. I didn't realise how different the colours were going to be. So eventually I found what I think is called a letter tray, but essentially to keep my papers organised and out of the way, from IKEA, so that was of course a lot of fun to build. If you did not get my sarcasm there, it was in fact rather painful, but worth it in the end. Smile if your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are stars in the sky, you'll get by. Not stars, when there are clouds. You did it! Fully functioning thing. I'm not actually the biggest fan of the colour. I thought it was going to be slightly darker, but I can always stain the wood in the future if I feel like it. I also wanted some kind of box situation going on behind this organiser, because just for some further organisation, but also for aesthetic purposes. So I actually got this little set of wooden boxes from the bathroom section in IKEA, making sure the dimensions matched relatively well with the letter tray to place behind it. In the end, I decided to flip the larger box round to act more as a stand, and honestly, I'm very happy with the product. I would love if the wood of the boxes and tray matched, but you can't have everything. So then I just reorganised my desk, tried to make it look as cute as possible, and I genuinely think adding these two elements have transformed it. I am so happy with it, and it's exactly what I wanted and needed. The only thing that bothers me now are my pen holders. I spray painted them a few years ago and it is chipping now, and I just kind of want to respray them white again, but probably an improvement for the future. Alright, the biggest event of this makeover is coming up now, and I was the most excited for this. I knew from the start I wanted to do something with the wall above my desk. It was just very plain, boring, and needed some decoration. I hesitated between hanging some pictures, paintings, or going in for some decorative shelves, and in the end I felt the shelves were the best option, and I have zero regrets. I had to wait around a bit for this DIY because I needed my dad's help, as I have never actually put up shelves myself and wasn't sure how to go about choosing the right hooks, nails for the wall, etc., all that stuff, let alone using an electric drill. So when the time came around, I chose these cute little wooden shelves that have a bit of character to them, as they're mainly there for decoration. I wanted them to be nice, and I'm very happy with my choice. One annoying thing was that they had these great big stickers on them that took us about 20 minutes to fully peel off. It was very painful and left a bit of a mark. Nothing too noticeable, but it was still just really annoying because we paid good money for them. Why do you have to put a sticker there? Anyway, then we got to work measuring where I wanted them, figuring out the placements, the alignments, all the fun stuff of putting shelves up, and I even drilled for the first time. Very scary business, but also wasn't as bad as I expected, so hopefully one day I will have the guts to use a drill all on my own. Pray for me. These kind of things always take more time than you think, even if every single time you learn the same freaking lesson. But all worth it in the end, so a big shout out to my dad for helping me out with these and sacrificing his Sunday afternoon for it. Then my favourite part, choosing what to place on the shelves. This will probably change over time, but that's what's so great about decorative shelving. You can always change what you want to display. I also wanted to hang this light bulb I found in an old box, which I was able to do after getting an extension cord for it, and I am extremely pleased with the final result. I just feel like my desk has really gone from a lowly 4 to a solid 12 out of 10. I actually think my desk area looks so cute now, which is also great for making me want to sit there and do work. Oh, and I would also love to get a hanging plant in the future in this area, but I will get around to that some other time. In the meantime, I am very, very content with my desk area. Very lovely vibes. We have arrived at the final part of this room refresh, which is to add some organisation and shelves to my big closet. This closet takes up a big chunk of my room and it is very practical. However, I wasn't a huge fan of the organisation I had come up with in it, and I also felt like I was missing a bit of storage space. Luckily, it turns out the structure of the closet is from IKEA and is designed to be able to add or remove shelves or other bits as you please. So it didn't take me too long to find the right shelves and dimensions to order.
Just picked up these two shelves and a very nice guy just helped me carry them because he saw that I was struggling a little bit because they're pretty big and relatively heavy. We got the shelves, we got the goods.
Putting in the long shelves on top of the hanging rack turned out to be a lot harder than anticipated. So as you can see, I basically had to remove the hanging rack to be able to get the shelf in because they wouldn't just slide in due to the doors, I think. And then even with that, it was a true struggle, as you can tell. I honestly cannot even explain how I managed to get them in the end. It was just a lot of trial and error and shoving about until it worked.
The hardest thing I've had to do for this makeover.
Then it was just the same process for the other one. Now on the first one, as you saw, I used the little holders, I have no idea what they're called, to support the shelf, but I thought for the other one that I'd try it out with it just resting on the hanger structure.
I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to test both out and see if it becomes really annoying on a daily basis, because right now I have to like go like this to be able to get out. Like I can't just I have to really put it through.
I thought it might be more aesthetically pleasing. However, I quickly changed my mind.
Update, I am going to add the little, what are they called? These things. I am going to add these things just because I'm afraid that it's putting too much pressure on this and that like it's just, I don't know, it doesn't look super stable to me.
So yeah, I was just worried it was going to exert too much pressure on the hanger, and turns out I think it looks fine with the little gap between the two. Plus it means I can actually take the hangers off the rack, which was a bit of a struggle with the shelf right on top. I also put in the smaller shelves on the side bit of the closet, which were a lot easier to do, and then proceeded to reorganizing everything. I didn't show this, but I actually also reorganized where all my clothes went, and it's small things like that that actually make such a difference, and it makes a lot more sense to me now the way that I've placed my clothes. I feel like I can actually see them a lot better to create outfits and just know where things are. I love a good reorganization. I also spoke of organisation within the closet, and the couple things I did to tackle that were to grab an old cardboard box to stow away the stuff that I wanted to keep there and handy to use, but that I thought just looked a little bit meh, so I didn't want them ruining the aesthetic. I'm a lot happier with the way that it looks now. I feel like I really struggled with the aesthetic of this particular part of my closet, and now that the box is there, I don't know, I think it just works a lot better. It seems a bit silly, but yeah. I also used some cardboard to make some dividers for my underwear, socks, tights, belts, bras drawer, and that has been a game changer. I am so glad I did that. I felt like it was always getting so messy, so jumbled up, and now everything has its own place and it doesn't mix up. I would eventually like to paint them because the cardboard doesn't look amazing, but you know, it's doing the job, and again, that is a task for another time. If you watched my basement declutter video, you'll also know that I needed a home for a few of the things I got out from storage, and the addition of these shelves was a huge help on that front and gave me lots more space for books in particular, and the desk shelves for all the deco pieces I found. So that pretty much rounds up everything I've done for my room the past couple months. Let's have a look at some before and afters, shall we? I am so pleased with how everything has turned out, and I had so much fun doing it. I'm a sucker for a good makeover, even if it's nothing major. Like here, I wasn't completely redoing my room or anything, but just touching up bits and bobs that overall make it feel a billion times better. The organisation has also made me feel way more sane, and I just feel like I know where everything is a lot more. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it, and I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye!
Welcome back, and welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.